All right, let's see. Okay, it shows that I'm on. Oh, goodness, that doesn't sound right. All right, so we are officially on. Um, this is just a test run, guys. I do have roommates, so if you hear stuff in the background, ignore it. Um, but yeah, so I am. I'm Jessica. If you don't know, my name's Jessica. This is Cheeky Geek. It's gonna be Cheeky Geek. It's gonna be a little more exuberant. I apologize ahead of time. I'm gonna say this now because apparently my camera sucks, and there's dogs in the back too. But apparently my camera sucks. So when I move too quickly, I look like Zordon from the and it's bad because I already have a large forehead, and so like when I move around, it's just like Rangers. So it doesn't look good. But anyway, so this is just a test run to make sure that the program that I'm using is capable of doing what it needs to do, and on top of it, we're going to talk a little geeky shit. So I have a friend of mine, Miss Cynthia. She's going to come up here in a minute. I actually have had her on What Fucking Day Is This, my other stuff that I've done. So it'll be fun. We're just going to have a small little geek session. And hey, Debbie, what's happening, my darling? Debbie Ackley, or Deb Ackley. Yeah, Deb Ackley in the chat. It's my sister. All right. Hi, Cynthia. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm going to say hi to Debbie right now. Hi, Debbie.
Nice. Yeah.
So, yeah, I do have a Twitch account too. I just don't. Oh yeah, it's on Bongo Productions. So I just haven't been on it in forever. In never really.
You know what? I typically am only on Twitch to watch my friend shows. I've watched Capital Punishment. I've watched Stab Comedy Theater, and I've watched the Comedy Spot stuff. But other than that, like I don't watch gaming on it because like I'm not that big of a gamer, even though I claim to be a nerd.
But I think what's interesting is that Twitch is evolving. I honestly think we really need to get on it. Like, I remember a year ago I was approached by Comedy Hub to put like some of my shows on there, and I was just like, sure. And then I just never got around to it. And then now they're getting like thousands of views, and like I'm like, oh shit, I think it really is the next best place to go.
Well, it originally started out for gamers. And then when the pandemic hit and people needing better outlets to like, be broadcast and to have different type of, cultivate a different thing, then, talk shows came to Twitch and stuff. I was on BeLive before, but sadly enough, they only transmit to Facebook and YouTube. And I'm like, yeah, this sucks. Like I'm paying you 26 something in a month when I can pay 19 on StreamYard.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like there's no perfect streaming option. Like you're just whatever you choose, you're just a little bit or a lot pissed off. You're like, I like Zoom, but I can't do this and this and that. You're like, I like Twitch, but I can't do that and this and this. It's like I like, you're just doing this.
What pisses me off about all of them is they don't have a sound bank. And what I mean by that is like, have a little strip, a bar or whatever where either you can buy the sounds or they have like just basic sounds and then like you can upgrade to picking a sound. But like, when you're doing a show and you want to do like a wah, wah, that's you be able to do. But I'm like a dork and like, I think, slightly vaudevillian in that, it's like the equivalent of getting like a pie in the face or like some spritzer butter, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I just think they should do that. You hear me, Twitch? No, I'm just kidding.
I need to Twitch. This is my first Twitch, I guess. So hi people. Hi. Oh shit, I dropped something. All right, whatever. Hi.
My sister says I be obsessed with puns, and she's not wrong.
I love puns too, but I'm terrible at them.
Okay, well then you have to watch Cat Puns. Like seriously, you watch. That's how I got better. Well, that and the UK Pun Off. It was two shows that I was watching. And honestly, like you can pun along comments, which is fun because if you get like a good one, you're like, hell yeah, I got a good one. And then like you see other ones and people are like, yeah, no. Like nice. It's just like comedy or anything else. It's not gonna fucking end, or be like super great, But I learned from the best. I'm just saying. So basically what Cheeky Geek is gonna be is we're gonna talk about nerdy things and stuff like that. Boy issues, boy issues, girl.
You want to talk about anything now? Because I got some. I don't know if you've been keeping up with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Spoiler alerts. Have you?
I have.
Okay, I'm the kind of bitch that like literally stays up like 11:59. I'm like, all right, refresh, motherfucker.
You know what pissed me off on the last WandaVision? Okay, so it was the last WandaVision. I'm sitting here. I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm up at like midnight. Like I can't go to sleep anyway. So I turn it on. And then it's like, we're having server problems. I'm like,
I remember that. I can watch it all. Like, I have to wait till the next day. I literally stayed up till 3. I kept refreshing every few minutes. I'm like, refresh no. I'm like, all right, I'll keep staying up. Refresh no. I'm like, all right, I'll keep staying like refresh no. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck is this? I basically had to watch it the next morning and had to switch browsers too, which was
well.
weird.
I will say that since technically the last Winter Soldier came, or the last episode was on Friday, I can't do any spoilers actually, just because.
What?
It's a day thing. Like you have to give a certain amount of time because I get really pissed off at spoilers.
Why can't we just tell people to watch the fucking show and get off? And then let us talk about the spoilers, huh? Anyone in the chat, if you don't want us to talk about the spoilers, say it now or forever hold your peace.
We can talk about WandaVision because the show's over. We can talk about WandaVision.
Fine.
Okay. I mean, like, what was your take on it?
I loved it. It was definitely a slow burn, right? Because like the first episode came and my friends were like complaining. It was like, it's so slow. I'm like, wait for it. I know what's about to happen. This is setting up the next generate or like the next phase of the MCU. Patience, right? And then like I was patient all the way through and then when they hit like the 90s, I'm like, okay, what the fuck? We need some goddamn action. I think the episode that pissed me off the most though was the one before the season finale, where like they were in the basement. I'm like, y'all could at least have a mini fight. See, like it was small.
So when it all came about, did you see it going towards Agatha or like? Because me personally, I thought Mephisto, but then a friend of mine brought it up that you can't portray the devil on cinema in like the Asian culture.
Oh yeah, that is a big thing.
That might take Mephisto off.
Yeah, and funny enough, that's also a reason why in Iron Man, I think 2 or 3, they had a random Korean, like when they were introducing Ultron, they have like a random, Chinese scientist that like got killed off because China actually. Yeah,
Ultron was an Avengers movie. It wasn't an
Iron Man. Fuck yeah, I'm getting confused. But like, because
everyone knows the second Iron Man was trash. I'm just saying.
I love it. Okay, but Iron Man, because China basically wants at least one Chinese person represented, so they're like, we'll just add a scientist that just gets killed off.
Let's just racially give our own like stereotype. Like they have to have something.
Yeah, but back to WandaVision. I did kind of see it being Agatha because I don't think that they would have done a Mephisto. Because I was thinking a Mephisto or like I forgot the name of the other dude. Like that reveal I thought would have been like too deep, especially for something that's just like a mini series. Like I think that's something that they would probably save for a movie. Like Agatha was secretly working for this guy, but the thing is, I don't know if she was necessarily working for him.
Here's my crazy idea.
Because in comic books she was working for him, but then on the show, I feel like when she's like, "You have no idea what you've done," I feel like Agatha might have been like either the slave of that guy or like holding him back somehow. And now that Wanda took her powers away, I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure if those two ever crossed paths. But my thought process on it was because they have Loki coming out, right?
Yeah.
So he's a part of the time. Basically, it really seems a little knockoff-ishy of Umbrella Academy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, it's the time, space, or whatever. I can't, TBA, I think it is, or whatever it is. But I was like, okay, so maybe he goes back in time and manipulates a little bit and like gets into the WandaVision because he was launching his show. But then they launched Falcon and the Winter Soldier first. So I was like, well, maybe he's not. But
Well, I mean, if you remember, the original timeline was supposed to be Doctor Strange right after Wanda, and then the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that they probably had to change things in like all of the storylines to make it all match. But I mean, to me, what was most surprising was that we didn't see Doctor Strange because he's literally the one time space. Yeah, he's literally the one who's in charge of keeping the multiverse in check. And I like if you had a giant sphere of like chaos energy, literally fucking shit up. Like the same way that the same way that Doctor Strange sensed when Loki and Thor came onto Earth, I would have thought that he'd sense that fucking shit. But then I learned that he was supposed to appear because of COVID. They come out.
I forget exactly where it is. It's just in the like little recesses of my mind. But I know that they approached. I don't know if it was Professor X or who it was that approached Doctor Strange about Wanda, and he was like. Yeah, no, you're on your own. She's too strong.
And you mean in the comic book, or?
I think it was the comic book.
I think it was because it wasn't in the shows. But I do remember Doctor Strange was actually supposed to appear, which would have made logical sense. But like, I think there were a lot of restrictions with like if he was in like another country and he was like it was right when they did the travel ban, so like it was really tricky for him to have like been able to go there and then quarantine. So they ended up just cutting him out.
I thought, and quite honestly, if they were going to do it, because I really feel that the X-Men versus the Avengers is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And actually, in the Avengers 5, that movie, they actually have it where there is some X-Men coming to the scene. But here's the thing: like she could have totally have been a catalyst to bring that part or that story together. They're not fully going.
I think so.
I don't know comics at all. But
yeah.
They do have, you know, there were little things, but it's just I think that they're trying to get their way to X-Men, but I hope they don't rush it because it's really going to be hard because T'Challa's gone, and I know, but it's really going to be hard because T'Challa's gone technically. From what I was told, they weren't going to revamp his line. They were going to let Suri do it. And so if it's really the X-Men versus the Avengers, there's a whole storyline with Storm and Black
Storm. And then also, I think Spider-Man is involved.
How are they going to make that part of it?
Yeah, Spider-Man is involved. I definitely agree with all of that. I definitely think it was like, because like every single fan, including myself, was like, they're gonna have Wanda create the House of M, reverse the House of M. She's gonna create mutants, and then they're like, psych, she's not.
Do with Mephisto.
Yeah, but
so you can't show him. You can't really bring in the House of M.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna introduce mutants. I think it might be. I don't know if it'll be. I think it might be in Doctor Strange that they introduce mutants somehow. I don't think it'll be because I feel like they're trying to take their time with it.
Well, when we researched it, it did say that Wolverine was for Avengers 5.
Yeah, Wolverine's gonna.
But I'm not saying it's the actual Hugh Jackman. I think it's just someone who's gonna play.
Oh yeah, no, because Hugh Jackman said he was want to do. Well, he's been doing it for like what since like 2000, like 2 decades.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done just getting sliced up and screaming and going, you know.
Yeah, but I did hear like a weird rumor
of crying like a little bitch. Like seriously, he's dying and he's like, oh, this is how it feels, and I'm like,
you mean Logan?
Yeah, on the end of Logan.
I have, in my mind, I have told myself that Logan isn't canon, and that's the only way I can cope. Logan is not canon. Logan is not canon. Logan is not canon. No matter how much they say that it's canon to the X-Men universe, it's not canon. No, that's the only way I can cope. That this
Well,
is
that
the universe.
and also when Professor X is killed by the weird clone thing that is in there. I don't remember its name. I'm not like I like nerdy shit, but I don't know every single detail. But because sadly enough, and we could touch on this topic a little bit because I said it before when we were talking. There's a sad medium in geek culture and in all culture, and that lovely word is called gatekeeping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fucking hate gatekeeping, and especially in the nerd world, because I'm gonna like pine through my notes here real quick because I have something to say that's important. But the idea behind all of that, or whatever, Stanley himself said this, that bigotry and racism are among some of the deadliest ills plaguing this world today. And yeah, he's talking honestly, like.
I mean, X-Men was literally an allegory for racism. Like, Magneto was basically a parallel to Malcolm X, and MLK was a parallel to Charles Xavier. Like, it was literally written that way.
You know what? I've never looked at it that way, and it does make sense.
Yeah, it makes complete sense, especially when you look at the fact that MLK was the one who was like, oh, let's just do peace and unity. I just want rights. I just want equal rights for Black people, but I want us all to work together and integrate, right? Which was like very much like Charles Xavier's. He's just like, it's not mutants versus humans, it's us together. And then Malcolm X was just like, yeah, but y'all keep killing us. Like, I'm just saying, if you come after me, I'm gonna come after you. Like, let's build our own shit. Let's do our own
shit. It wasn't Days of Future Past. It was the other one.
Like, even the first X-Men was about that. First X-Men. Well, then again, he was trying to kill everyone. And the second X-Men, he was still trying to kill everyone.
I mean, if you look at it, like, look at the poor guy's life. He was a Jew and Nazis and, like, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Kevin Bacon in that role, it just pissed me off.
Like, Kevin Bacon? Wait, was it Kevin Bacon?
It was Kevin. Or, yeah, well, no, that was, I think.
Are you talking about young Magneto?
No, Kevin Bacon was the bad guy that Magneto was going after. It wasn't the first X-Men.
Oh yeah, I know which one. Okay, yeah, it was like X-Men or something. Okay, yeah.
I think that was
First Class.
First Class.
Sebastian Shaw. I mean, I thought he did a pretty good Sebastian Shaw, but.
He just irritated me. Like, I just really wanted somebody else in that role.
Debbie just said no. No. Debbie just like no.
Well, I mean, okay, so gatekeeping. One of the things that pisses me off about that. Okay, so especially in the nerd world, when you're a woman, number one, you're just doing it because you're trying to impress someone. No, bitch. It's because I enjoy the shit. Or it's, you can't like that. You're too pretty. And it's like, no. Now, one of the things that I see a lot on TikTok is Black cosplayers. Oh, you can't be that character because you Black. Motherfucker, if she did all the work and she looks fabulous, let her fucking be. Like, it doesn't matter where you come from in a franchise. Like, I'm a Star Wars fan. Okay? So, I mean, hello. But no, I'm a Star Wars fan. And one of the things that fucking pisses me off so bad is when they're like, oh, you only like it for the Mandalorian because of cute Baby Yoda. First of all, you don't know shit because his name's Grogu. Okay? And he was called the child, not Baby fucking Yoda. The funny thing about Baby Yoda, that they're all like, oh, Baby Yoda. I'm like, okay, do you know what species he is? Nope. Do you know what planet he's from? Nope. Nobody does. So you can't say it's a fucking Baby Yoda. It's not, a Yoda is not its species. Yeah. Which I was really hoping the Mandalorian, because remember the original, it said, I don't know if you've seen the Mandalorian, but if you have.
I have not.
Okay, well, they say in it,
no spoilers,
please. You need to take it to its people. You need to take it to its people. And one of the very close guarded things is Yoda's origin and where he's from. So this whole time I'm sitting there like, yes, yes, and then they're like, give him to a Jedi, and I was like, no.
Mm.
I wanted to see his planet. Like I wanted to see where he came from. You know what I'm saying? So I was pissed.
Isn't he? Because I remember in the first Star Wars movie, like Yoda was on that like kind of a desolate, swampy planet. Is that his home planet, or was he just hiding out and chilling?
No, he went. Okay, so you'll understand that if you watch the first 3. He went
okay, yeah, I haven't finished all 3. Okay,
yeah, no, he went into exile after Vader became Vader. Like he went into
oh well.
like,
Thanks for that spoiler, but it's all good. Star Wars is 30 years old. I should know this by now.
Well, it's way more than 30 years old because it was.
It's really it's old. It's old. I
know. It is my thing. Like honestly, I enjoy watching, seeing everything. But here's my thing: it doesn't fucking matter where you come into a franchise on. The fact that it sparks some sort of thing inside of fucking you that you're like, okay, I see that, I represent it. When I went and saw Endgame and shit, people were out in their stuff and everything. And let me just tell you, okay, I got to tell you this story because it was funny as shit. So I read it, but I had some thoughts. Okay. So this guy, I saw it on my friend Nicole's page. It was a thing about how this guy, his daughter, and his wife went into a store to get like they saw Marvel plushies, and he's like, pick whichever one you want. And she wanted Captain Marvel, right? And so he's like, don't you want a real?
Oh, I read that too.
Yeah, don't you want a real one? Like, why would you want a princess? Full stop. Okay, she's not a princess, motherfucker. It pissed me off. Like, what? Reading that, I'm like, oh my god, that's like gatekeeping your own child. Like, just because she wanted Captain Marvel. Now, here's my argument on that subject. In the end of Endgame, who stops the fucking shooting? Who stops everything? And they point all their damn artillery up in the air. Yes, they did that for Captain Marvel.
Dude, if Captain Marvel had been there at the start, they wouldn't have even gotten the snap in the first place.
I highly doubt that because she was in another place.
Yeah, I mean, but like if she had been there, like if she wasn't at the far end of the universe, which is also another plot hole. Because I know that she was taking care of like the Kree rebellion and all that shit. But I also wonder why she didn't hear about the Infinity Stones, because that was such a huge thing across the universe.
It was, but I don't think it was common knowledge. I don't think that was a very common knowledge thing. Because as you see through it, like even Earth, they had the Tesseract for how long? They didn't know about the thing inside. Like they knew that it was powered by something, but they didn't know exactly what. And then when everything was starting to come out, I think freaking crap, what was it? Damn it, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, like so. Okay, yeah, I lost my train. What the fuck were we talking about?
Common knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really common knowledge with that, but she also had the little beeper too, and I can't remember when Nick Fury paged her because he said
he paged her when he was about to disappear.
Yeah,
right when Thanos won, right when he was seeing people, he was like, "Oh fuck," and then.
And that when Ant-Man went into like the quantum like realm, whatever that realm was or whatever. Like
no, like so he paged her right when
he got stuck in there.
Well, okay, so the story. I think you're saying the right things, but I think you're skipping a few steps, which might confuse Debbie. Or maybe I think your video might be skipping because you're moving. But like, no, yeah. So he paged her right when it started, and then she showed up. I think like the day after, like within like a few days or like a few weeks of it happening, because like the Avengers were trying to tally the number of people that were disappearing. It was like an after credit scene, and then the next thing we see is 5 years later, Ant-Man coming back because of that rat, right, from the time realm or the quantum realm, and then she's still there, but like she's like on another planet, like trying to like watch over tons of planets, and she's got the haircut.
I don't know, you know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try and follow that timeline.
Yeah, I know exactly because I rewatched all the movies recently, like from start to like everything.
Okay, so I have a friend of mine who is a comedian as well, and he started watching them with his daughter. And he would like message me like, "What's going on here? Why is this happening? This that." And I'm like, "Well, you're gonna explain." Like, it's really funny when people come to me to ask me nerd questions, and if I don't know the answer, I point them to the nerd that I knows it.
I'm the Marvel nerd and the DC nerd. That's
Well,
my realm.
No. Oh, so DC's yours.
No, Marvel is my realm. But like, I'm also secondary DC. Like, I know both because I grew up reading both comic books.
I like some of DC.
Oh yeah, no, like I feel like the Snyder Cut was amazing.
Discount comic,
but generally the movies have been terrible.
Marvel is okay. Last night I did a live, and I'm watching the Titans because I have HBO Max now. So I'm watching the Titans on there, and their beginning sequence was like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, and I'm like, that was it. It was just so quick. But then Marvel, it's like turn the page and like it's bad quality.
I'm gonna just say this: season 1 of Titan is absolute shite. It sucks. It sucks. Season 2 is a lot better. There's some really good episodes.
I'm sticking it out because I used to be like a really huge Teen Titan fans, and I'm not talking fucking Teen Titan Go. I'm talking Teen Titan.
Teen Titan.
It looked hella cool.
Teen Titan.
So this is what somebody told me when they turned it to Teen Titans Go was because too many girls were liking it. And I was like, who told you that bullshit?
Yeah, I was kind of sad when they canceled the show, but then again, they kind of ended it right with like Raven's like transformation into like a light being, sort of. I can't remember the name of it, but
I just remember I do like. I mean, I still watch Teen Titans Go because I'm a total dork and I love cartoons, and I have children, and they like Teen Titans Go. But freaking, there is one that I like when they do it. It's the When the Night Begins to Shine, and it's like they're singing and everything, and it's like 80s butt rock. It's really funny, actually. But no, I mean, I just really get irritated when people do that kind of shit, like gatekeep and fucking block people from enjoying stuff. Because for me, okay, I live in foster care. So for me to get away, like, I imagined that I was running on the fields of fucking indoor and like climbing trees and, I had Princess Leia with me and goofing around and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it got me away from that reality of the like pain. And that's the one thing that I love about the characters a lot, is because every character is going to give you something that's like a little piece of you, even the negative one. And so it's like, don't stop people from exploring. Okay, so they came into Star Wars at 7, 8, and 9. All right, let's educate them. Let's show them. Let's guide them. This is what someone showed me. It might help you. If not, that's cool. If you want to talk about it, I'm here. Oh, you didn't get into the Marvel universe until like Thor Ragnarok. Okay,
that's fine.
Guide people. Like, I don't know shit about like Dungeons and Dragons. I want to. Dungeons and Dragons, the other RPG games. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do the multimedia or mass multiplayer online role playing. Like, I'm good with that. That's too much going on for me. Like, I like nerdy shit, but that's too much. I don't know about you. I don't know if you're a gamer. But I'm a gamer. Like, I do gaming, but like very old school, because I can't deal with all the moving around. It makes me nauseous. But I did find a good game, and it's a Star Wars game on Xbox that I like. It's not too bad. But I'm working on it. I don't know. We are already divided. Like, we shouldn't get all pissed off and butthurt because I like Marvel, someone likes DC. I like Star Wars, someone likes Star Trek. By the way, I'm just saying, it would be cool to have the adventures of Star Wars, and somebody had brought this to my attention, and I was like, yeah, it makes sense. But I would like to have the adventures of Star Wars, but live in the Star Trek universe. Because it's pretty, they've got all the technology, money isn't really an issue, they have food, So, I don't know. But I've been watching a lot of Star Trek Next Gen because I've been sick this last week. And like Riker and everyone on that ship is just always trying to like Like,
No, I'm looking at Debbie's post. Like, Batman isn't a superhero. Yo, man, Batman is a rich guy. Okay, Debbie. Fun fact: there's actually an entire thread on Twitter and Instagram all about how Batman is literally just shits on Batman. They're just like, Batman. If Batman really wanted to end crime, he could have just donated some money to the homeless people. Like, it's just talk about like Batman is literally just goes around beating up mentally ill people. It's hilarious.
Shit, what did he say? My friend Damien and his buddy Ed Blaylock, they run a podcast called A Geek History of Time, and I think he called Batman Tony Stark without the fun parts of alcoholism. And I honestly, like, I sat there, like, in Justice League when he's like, what's your superpower? And he's like, I'm rich. And I'm like,
it's true.
Okay, yeah, you're rich, but you also have, like, his superpower to me is white privilege.
Yeah, that too.
Because if it was anybody else that was running around killing people that was not as unmelanated like he is, I'm pretty sure they would have caught him.
Exactly. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert for Wilkie the Falcon Soldier. Wilkie the Falcon Soldier. I mean, let's talk about Falcon almost being fucking arrested after saving the goddamn world. We all know that. And not even being able to fucking get a bank loan after saving the goddamn world.
Right, that pissed me off so bad.
And you know it was because he was black. He's just like, oh, you saved the world. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, you still don't qualify for the loan. Like, my credit score is good. I got money coming in. It's just like, oh, you're cute.
But he's like, you haven't had any history in the last 5 years. He's like, I was blipped, you fucking dick. And then when I came back, I fought Thanos and we won. Because that was the first. Okay, so remember on the left? Do you remember on the left? So the first time you see Falcon and Captain America, they're running, and he says, on your left. He's like, you say on your left one more time.
Oh, I remember that.
And then I think Steve is in the hospital. Was it Steve in the hospital or was it Falcon? One of them was in the hospital, and he was like, on your left. And then in the end game, when you hear him coming through, he's like, hey, on your left. And then that's when you see, like, Falcon. Oh, God. That was, like, the best.
It was.
When you saw all the circles start opening up and everything, I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, it was the great.
Yeah, because Steve was looking like it was like, I don't know if it could go on. And then he saw all the allies. He was just like, Avengers!
What do you mean he didn't think he could go on? Before all those people decided to start popping out of them holes, he was like, fuck it. And, like, he tightened that leather strap and everything, even though it was crap.
Okay, you know what? The best part was seeing him with Thor's hammer. We're all remember when I was watching that in movie theaters? Like, the crowd went crazy. I was clapping and cheering. We're all cheering. We're just like, we knew it.
People were fucking throwing shit at the screen. They're like, hell no. I knew it. What the? You know? See, those are one of the moments that like really makes me proud of being like a geek. Because, okay, in the beginning of Captain Marvel, right? Beginning of Captain Marvel, they did a whole thing for Stan Lee. And quite honestly, my ex-husband doesn't understand my nerdery. Because we watched it in San Francisco on like a giant IMAX screen, you know, years ago. Whenever it came out. And I'm sitting there watching Stan Lee's thing, and I'm like,
I was tearing up.
He was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, that's Stan Lee, man. Like, he's
not. You don't understand, man.
And he's like, so people die. And I was like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how dare you? How dare you do this to me? But yeah, no, it was, you know, and even that, dude, people stood up and clapped at the beginning of that. And also, when you first see Leia, General Organa, it sounded like it said shitty herb. But when you saw her in The Rise of Skywalker, yeah, that was the last one. The Rise of Skywalker, like, people literally everyone got up out of their seat. They were fucking clapping. They were yelling and everything. And I'm sitting there, because it wasn't a full theater, but I'm sitting there, like, hella close, because I can't see for shit. And so, like, I'm sitting there, and, like, I look around, and I just feel the energy of the room, and I was like, oh, my God, she's gone. Like, I totally cried again. And this lady next to me was like, it's okay, honey. We're all doing it. And I was just like,
I was pretty sad.
Yeah, well, and then on top of it, everyone was like, "Oh, her daughter Lord should play her," and I was like, "You,
yeah,
you do know that she already plays a character in Star Wars. It's kind of hard for her to switch. I mean, I'm sure it can happen. I'm sure it can be done, but at the same time, like, why? You got to act with your mom and share a screen with your pet. So I'm not gonna show off the tattoo because I gotta lift up like everything. And yeah, I have her tattooed right here.
But I think the one thing I do like, I mean, yeah, there was sexism and how, I mean, that bikini scene was nothing but sexism. Like, we all know that. The fact that she was wearing, like...
Did you not hear her yell at George Lucas? She was like, whatever Queen Amadillo or whatever her name is, she wears a new outfit every time, blah, blah, blah. You didn't even let me wear a bra, George, because you said...
Yeah, I was about to say, when she first appeared, they didn't even let her fucking wear a bra. Like, she was covered up in the white tat, yeah. But it was, we all saw her nips. But yeah, I was about to say, what I do like is that even through all that, she portrayed nothing but strength and humility and intelligence in her role as Leia. Like, even in a fucking bra, she strangled that motherfucker.
Dude, hell yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so one of the things that I love about, being a geek and all that other stuff is one of the things, it wasn't just her on stage, it was her off stage. Her bringing light to mental health illness and or mental illness. Sorry, mental health illness. But no, like her normalizing it. When I was watching an interview with her, she was talking about being bipolar and medication she was on, all that stuff, and she made it seem fucking normal and that it wasn't taboo and that it wasn't like like it was she not only did she open the door for like females in the sci-fi type stuff, but other people could argue it was Sigourney Weaver, but I'm just gonna go with Leia because that's where I met her at in Sci-Fi-ville. I didn't meet Ridley for like a long time, but
anyway. I don't know. I definitely would think that without Leia, I don't think we would have gotten Sigourney Weaver, who is amazing.
Yeah, she was really good, but it was cool to see her not just break that glass ceiling, but break the other ones too, and call out bullshit. She had literally told the dude, like, yeah, you sexually harass or assault this person again, I'm gonna cut your dick off. And I'm like, oh! Like, damn, bitch, like, you are crazy. Like, I'm pretty sure she would have been like hella awesome to hang out with. But
oh yeah, for sure.
What's common now and normal isn't real.
It's common now and normal isn't. Wait. What is common?
Yeah, well, Debbie, yes, she did have Jedi powers, but we didn't find that. Well, most of the cinematic world didn't find out about that until later.
Yeah, when she trained. Yeah, and I thought it was
fucking debris of a ship, and just like, ooh. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, is she moving? And like, my ex was like, I don't know, because we went and would see all the Star Wars stuff in the theaters, and I was like, it looks like she's moving. And he's like, nah, she's just floating around. I was like, no, bro, like, she's pointing, she's going. And yeah, it was, when I saw that, I had to look it up. And apparently she had started her training with
Jedi training, yeah.
Yeah, she had started her Jedi training with Luke, and then she finished it with another Jedi Master that I am skipping my brain right now. Because I don't have my little, like, I have notes. Like, seriously.
I think what I'm happy...
When I do things, like, I have a shit ton of notes.
I think what I'm happy about in general is that we've seen, I think ever since Hunger Games, we've been seeing a lot more female-led movies. Like, Hunger Games and I think Bridesmaid were, like, the first two movies. But then we're also seeing stories now where, like, love isn't the main thing. Like, there's no random dude that she falls in love with. It's just like...
Well, that's across the board. Because look at Frozen. She didn't need a dude to save her.
Well, exactly.
I thought she did. But then look at Brave. Like, that cute little...
Oh, I love Brave so much. People never talk about Brave.
I love Merida. I love the movie Brave. I think it's one of the better ones, and I think people sleep on it a lot because
I think so too.
There isn't a knight in shining armor, and she's like, "Fuck you!" Like, I'm gonna make my own destiny. I'm gonna make my own fate, and I'm just like, I'm sitting there like, you tell them. Like, I was yelling at the TV. My daughter, when I first watched it, because I was like, I don't know why it got me all hyped up, and she was just like, "Mom, what's wrong with you?" And I was like, I don't know. Like, it's just. It's very inspiring. Disney inspired me, and she was like, "You need to go to bed. Like, you need help." But like Frozen, what was it? Didn't yeah, freaking Tangled.
I mean, Frozen, Tangled, more. I think it's definitely recent, but now, like, I think more and more, it's like there's. I mean, I would like even bigger movies I'm seeing where like Love even like if you remember, I think it's like She's a Boss. Like, did you see that movie with Tiffany Haddish where like she owns like a business with her best friend?
Yes.
Like, to me, what I loved about the story is that the entire movie was just about their friendship and their business aspirations. Like, the men were just like a side chicks. Like, they didn't really care about their love life.
Yeah,
They didn't really
and
explore
the
it. They're
funny
just
thing
like,
it was like she treated it like, oh yeah, no, we're not doing anything. Last night was a one night stand. Like, we got shit to do. Goodbye. And he's like, oh, okay. And then they like went on their business and stuff. And I love it when she punched Selma Hayek
yeah, that was funny.
and her weird ass teeth. What was that about?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I love those kind of stories because it's because like 10 years ago, the only time you could have a female lead on a movie was if she was Katherine Heigl and it was a romantic story. That was, if you remember.
There's so many. Okay, wait. If you want to talk about like sexism and shit, look at the first Wonder Woman. Look at the first Wonder Woman, and then
one in Justice League.
Look at the Amazons in Justice League. It's like first Wonder Woman makes sense, done by a woman. The clothes make sense. The armor kind of makes sense, but they're also fucking Amazon mythical creatures, so it's not like you could be completely like straight Roman style and like that. But then in Justice League, it's like, where the fuck did their clothes go?
I agree.
Like you said, like, that's not probable. Like what? Even their battle armor and stuff. It was like that leaves them all vulnerable. They're not stupid like that. Like, come on. You're talking about women that are like super strong and shit like that. I don't know. Sometimes. Bye, Deb. But
have you seen? There's like a project out there where someone goes around. Oh, good night, Debbie. Someone literally goes around and he redraws male comic book characters into the poses that female comic book characters do. Have you seen that?
I have seen that. And I've also seen versions where they make female Thor and female Iron Man and all that other stuff. And I'm like, damn, female Iron Man is hot. And then Thor and all that other stuff. I don't know. I mean,
we might see some of that in Loki, actually.
That might be cool. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot there. I mean, sadly, like the nerd and geek realm is so big that you can't just concentrate on like just one thing because it really depends on what you nerd out about. Like, I say I nerd out about Star Wars or comic books, but actually, you know, the weird thing is, I don't really have. I used to have a lot of comic books. There was a fire that took them. Yeah. Thank you, PG&E. That's what happened. It was part of the campfire. Anyway, but yeah, no, like I used to have a bunch of stuff, and like now, like, because I'm afraid to buy them again, because I don't want anything to happen to them, because that will like fucking kill me again. So I'm like, I'll go on digital. Like I think there's a subscription that you can do where you can just like look through a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about, which reminds me, I need to get insurance for my room or to change it out because I have insurance on my old place. But like, at some point when I finish setting up my room, I'm gonna take pictures of everything and then just be like, I bought most of the shit on Amazon, so I'm gonna be like, 1,000 for the bed, 20 for the lamp. Like just like ridiculous numbers, and like the comic books I'm just like listing there, first edition, mint, blah blah blah. Y'all gonna pay for this.
So what are your thoughts on like people getting pissed off that their character is either now gay or bisexual or, you know, different skin color?
I think the skin color thing doesn't really matter. For the most part I think it's great because what it is that it's most it's contextualizing it, right? Because most of those comic book characters were written back when, what was it, the Hays Code, or no, not the Hays Code, but like Captain America was definitely under the Hays Code, and Superman. Basically, it said that you have to be proper with everything. Like you can depict like drugs, you can depict sexuality, you can.
Some of the early Captain.
No, like even early. I talk about like 40s and 50s, like but even in the 60s and then up until the 70s, it was the 70s when they loosened it up because they didn't even depict drugs in Spider-Man up until the 70s, and that was when his best friend Norman Osborn OD'd, and they did it like very lightly. They didn't say drugs specifically because they were still under sort of like what's it called a gag order for comic books. Like there's certain things you couldn't discuss. So now I think when you look back, most of the writers were white males. They just literally wrote about themselves. Now we have a lot more diverse voices, and we want people to talk about this. So if you make Ivy wife to Black, it doesn't take away from her character at all. And in fact, it adds more dimension to her character. Black, right? But if you make someone like Black Panther white, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Piss a few people off. I mean, that'll definitely piss a few people off.
Yeah.
I remember being in a pizza store, and I have a Black Panther mask, and the little girl was like, "I love that movie," and I was like, "Are you really happy that Suri's going to be the next, Black Panther?"
That's still a maybe. That scares me.
Is that going to happen? I said, "They're really no." I told her, I said, they're really looking into it for it. And she was like, I swear to God, this little girl looked up at me and goes, "Mom, I finally have a superhero that looks like me." I got damn near. I'm sitting there and I'm like, like, oh my God. And she was because she had opened up her shirt and showed me like this panther it wasn't Black Panther, but she had a panther on her shirt and she showed me. And me being the mom in me, I'm like, go ahead. Like, and then all of a sudden I sit and I think in my head, I'm like, this lady's literally seeing me tell her daughter to let me, like, she would see her shirt. And I'm like, oh no, this doesn't look good. Because I was backtracking in my head. I was like, I hope so. I don't want to die over this. I know me personally, if I turned around and some lady, my kid was like, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing?
All right. I am going to have to go to bed soon. Who are the 5 people watching, by the way? Can y'all just, like, say hi?
I have no idea who's
I have no idea, too. Like, do y'all like their conversation? Y'all have been... I'm going to give it a while. I think there's, like, a 15-second lag between Restream and... But if you guys could just comment and say hi and, like, subscribe to Jessica, subscribe to me or some shit, I don't know.
Yeah, why don't you give your deets, dude, since we've been just screwing around anyway.
It should be on the Twitch screen. It's Bongo Productions, so y'all can subscribe to my channel. Yeah. I will have content there one day. I do comedy. Jessica does comedy too, and also
I do.
Stuff.
I try to do comedy. Let's put it that way. I actually think that I have better luck with writing than doing comedy, but that's just me. And I'm a smart ass, so sometimes my comedy doesn't land really well. But I did want to point out one thing real quick, that it says the first modern comic book, Famous Funnies, was released in the United States in 1933. And so, I mean, if you still think that the representation from 1933 is the same as 2002, you're probably part of the fucking problem in this United States. Now, I'm just saying. I mean, you got people like restricting voter rights and trans rights, and it's a whole bunch of people that probably would have sympathized with motherfuckers back in 1935/45.
Yeah. To me, I'm like, if anyone ever comes up to me just like, I wish things were back in the day in the 50s simpler, I'm like, for who?
Say it again?
For who? Okay. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you mean when I had no rights and segregation? They're like, oh, not that part. I'm like, oh, really? Are you
sure? No, not that part. Not that part. Actually, I think it was the 50s and 60s where blackface was finally thought of as bad.
Kind of, sort of. I feel like it didn't actually go, yeah, but like, Robert Downey Jr. did blackface in like the early 2000s. No one said shit. So
now the woke culture is. Now the new woke, the little wakelings, like I call them, they're all like, oh my God. I was like, that is literally satirical. It's part of the movie. They even tell him, like, this is probably not good. Like, You know?
Yeah, I have to watch the movie. I'm still not okay with it, but I have to watch the movie.
It wasn't as bad as people are making it out to be. I understand now with researching of blackface and stuff, I understand a little bit more about it. Now I'd probably be like, probably shouldn't have done that. But there's literally a part in it where the actual black character was like, so one of the characters is like, you people, and Robert Downey Jr., in his makeup's like, what you mean, you people? And the guy's like, what do you mean, you people? Like, you jackass, you're not even supposed to be doing this. So I think they handled it with a little tact, but there's some people that
you gotta watch Tropic Thunder.
It's funny. To me it was funny. I didn't think about it when I watched it, so maybe I should like rewatch it. I think I should rewatch it. I don't know. I mean, obviously I really can't say shit on whether it would offend me or not because I obviously am not there. So but I do know some people that there's a lot of comics that have come to its what do you call it? Yeah, to its defense. And they're like, yeah, no, this isn't bad, but like there's other like celebrities that have gone to like Halloween parties and shit like that in blackface. They're like, yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, no, people can, I don't know if people are still, see, 2 people. Woo!
Who the fuck are y'all people? Say hi to me, goddammit!
You can find me on Instagram at jroberts5377. You can also find me on Twitter on that. You can find me at Facebook on as Jessica Roberts. It's very easy to find me. Or you can subscribe. That'd be nice. But this is just the first go around. We're gonna have other stuff. We might even have trivia on the show. We might do all sorts of crazy shit. We don't know, but this is just our test run for now. And I enjoyed it. What about you? I thought we had some fun.
I had fun.
To talk about.
Thank you both. I would love to be back on Cheeky Geeky or Cheeky Geeks.
I know it's the whole mouthful, Cheeky Geek Talk. But I thought this would be cool as like a podcast, but then I realized that I don't have the skills to fucking do all the shit for a podcast. Because I was just telling my cousin, even though that I'm a nerd, I do not possess the correct knowledge and skill to operate computers. Like if it's audio and like that's it, I'm good. But if it's like, oh, you have to download this and then stitch into this and then do this, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I get confused, dude. I don't want to do it. But yeah. Anyway, so this is the official launch of Cheeky Geek, kind of. And who knows? I might have punters on. I might have teachers on. I might have freaking just everyday folks on. You never know. So always come and check us out. And also, you can nerd out with us in the chat. Like,
say hi.
If we got something wrong or you know the answer to a question that we talk about, fucking come in and tell us. Because, yeah, I would prefer that.
Please tell us, but know that I'm also never wrong.
Yes. Like, I wish I had that confidence, but I'm like, there's a lot of fucking times I'm wrong.
Well, it's within a 95% confidence interval, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have that much. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. Don't forget to wash your hands, use your masks, stay, apart, and, try not to be racist ass hats.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
That seems to be our, like Stanley says, it seems to be one of the fucking ills that are plaguing our society. And in my opinion, racism and shit like that is one of our modern day gatekeepings. So let's not do that. I didn't get to like really get into depth with my gatekeeping stuff, but maybe next time I will, because like I have like, quotes and people and all sorts of stuff. Like when I do research, I dive and then like I kind of get lost. So I have ADHD, so we're gonna have all sorts of conversations. But you know what? We may not come back to the fucking topic. I don't care. I have ADHD and I'm proud of it. I don't care.
It's all good. I had a great time, Jessica. It's so nice to talk to you too. It's been a while.
I know it has. It has. What is the last time we talked? Weren't we talking about Greek gods?
Oh yeah, that was months ago.
Yeah, we were talking about Greek gods and how Fridays are for fucking.
Yes.
Oh, we'll have to elaborate on that another time. I'm not going to go into Greek gods tonight. I'm too tired. But anyway, I'm very grateful for you being on here, sweetheart, and I so appreciate it. And thank you for helping me launch, even though like I need a better camera because yours is putting mine to shame. But at least I didn't look like Zordon. It's once I hit stream, it was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work anymore because I really wanted to do the Zordon look, but I always thought, what was it, Zordon and Alpha, and never mind. Power Rangers came out when I was in elementary school, and I used to play Power Rangers and X-Men with Jason Bates. Oh my god, he was such a cutie. He still is actually, but he's a married man now, and moving on with his life. But he was hot in junior high. I saw him in high school. I saw him in high school. He played my. I don't know why I'm saying this. All right. Anyway, we're gonna go now. See ya.